Remember my video about MIAT Mongolian Airlines Boeing 767? Today we are going to step that up a bit by flying MIAT's newest flagship, the Boeing 787-9, in business class. Join me when we fly from Mongolia to Germany. An early good morning from Chinggis Khaan International Airport in Ulaanbaatar in Mongolia. Today I'm going to fly MIAT Mongolian Airlines on their flagship Boeing 787-9. It's freezing, let's go inside. Since I checked in online and I traveled quite light today with only a carry-on bag, I may skip the check-in row and head straight to the immigration and security checkpoint. Last time I traveled with MIAT Mongolian Airlines, I could use the security and immigration check of the lounge. However, since MIAT has a new lounge for themselves, things changed a bit. More about that shortly. Blue Sky Lounge is the name of this inviting-looking MIAT Mongolian Airlines lounge. Let's check it out since I have a complimentary access thanks to my business class ticket. So I made it past security and immigration, and I'm now in the MIAT Mongolian Airlines lounge. The lounge that I went 2 years ago is now a different lounge, so they no longer have a contract with MIAT Mongolian Airlines. That's why they have now an own lounge, however, which is airside. Their old lounge used to be landside, and you actually had an own security and immigration within the old lounge, which was quite nice, and I was actually looking forward to it. However, this one is nice too, so I'm not complaining. And the view from this lounge is actually much better, as from the previous MIAT lounge there was no apron view. The lounge offers quite a variety of food and beverage choice, even warm stuff, such as noodle soup. When I arrived at this lounge, quite many couches were occupied by sleeping guests, and to me it looked like they were more than just having a nap, but camping in the lounge. I wonder if this is a way to stay overnight at Chinggis Khaan International Airport without having to spend the money and time to get into Ulaanbaatar to a hotel, which is roughly 50 kilometers away. I'm a little bit intrigued by this Air Mongolia aircraft. I think I need to return to Mongolia. Here I get a first glimpse of my ride to Frankfurt today, this MIAT Mongolian Boeing 787-9. It looks like it's being pulled to the gate. And while I still have almost 1 hour to go till boarding, I will enjoy my time here in the lounge next to the window for some plane spotting. Not too much is happening, but at least I get to see some airlines which I most likely will never see at my home airport in Zurich. Now enough of plane watching and let's head to the gate. Here it is, my ride to Frankfurt for today, this 6.5-year-old Boeing 787-9, originally delivered to Suprana Airlines in China, an airline I have never heard of before. In April 2024, MIAT Mongolian Airlines took over the aircraft, and it is equipped with 30 seats in business class and 262 seats in economy class. I quite like this airport. It's not too big and it has a lot of natural light thanks to the huge windows we have all around here.
Attention please. Checking for United Airlines flight
It's already 20 minutes past boarding time, and interestingly the crew showed up about 10 minutes past the boarding time, and now I was told that we are delayed by at least half an hour. I wonder why. The aircraft itself has been back in Ulaanbaatar already since yesterday, according to Flight Radar 24. Finally, it's boarding time, and I'm excited to experience the MIAT Mongolian Airlines Boeing 787, which should have a 1-to-1 seat configuration in business class, in contrary to the fairly strange 2-1-2 layout of the Boeing 767. If you like to see my experience aboard that former MIAT Mongolian flagship, you can check out my video about it after this one. This is the second one of 2 Boeing 787, while the first 787 was delivered to MIAT Mongolian Airlines in August 2023 and also came from Suprana Airlines. The welcome aboard was friendly and I was shown my way to the business class cabin. This is my seat for the next 9 hours or so, 15K. Welcome on board the MIAT Mongolian Airlines Boeing 787-9. The cabin definitely is another world compared to the one from their Boeing 767. It looks way more contemporary and also more elegant, but that's a subjective impression. The middle seats more or less face each other, yet due to the middle console you don't see each other, adding to the privacy. Boarding was not really pleasant. There was no information, at least not in English, about what's happening, why we are standing around for half an hour and what is the reason for the late boarding. I mean, now it's already the official departure time, but of course we only started boarding now. So it's a little bit of a disappointment when it comes to the boarding procedure. However, if I compare to last time, 2 years ago, it was flawless. So I wouldn't say that's every time like that. It was just this one time so far that it was a bit annoying. Anyway, I am on board. And not only that, I already got a welcome drink. I chose an apple juice to start off my journey today. MIAT Mongolian Airlines left a pretty good impression the last time I flew with them. Especially the food is something I keep on talking about. And with food I mean their beef steak. However, when I flew to Mongolia a few days ago, they didn't offer the beef, which was a bit disappointing. So let's hope for the best on today's flight. Did you know MIAT Mongolian Airlines also operates the Boeing 757? I didn't, and it seems to be for their cargo division. The crew just handed out an amenity kit and a blanket. This is the view I have from my seat. 2 windows, and that's an IFE screen. Probably this I can release here, so it would tilt forward like this. And here we have the legroom. This pillow was already on my seat, I just put it there. And yeah, we'll find out if this legroom is good enough when we are in a laying position for sleeping. Oh, there's more space down there. I don't know if you can see it. Probably I'll put my shoes there. So if we continued our little sea tour, here we have the library. I mean, there's a shopping catalog, the safety card. And this here seems to be power outlet, of course. And what I wanted to show you actually this, which seems to be a bottle holder. Let's have a quick look at the safety card as we are departing shortly. Boarding is completed and it looks like the business class cabin is maybe half full or a third. Not quite sure, but definitely not full.
Take your assigned seat and fasten your seatbelt. Please make sure.
I mentioned the IFE screen before, and this is how to release it from its stowed position. Or at least I thought so, but it seems stuck. Wait a second. Ah, here we go. Now the screen is well in front of me.
Four exits in the front of the cabin, 2 just behind the wings, and 2 in the rear of the cabin. An oxygen mask will drop down in front of you.
We are rolling towards the runway and I'm already looking forward to see Mongolia's incredible landscape from up in the air. This vast, barren land mesmerizes me every time when I travel to this highly interesting, almost mystical country. I doubt my camera catches well enough what my eyes and soul capture while we are lifting off the ground. Back there, my friends, this is Ulaanbaatar, the capital of Mongolia, and probably also the capital of traffic jams during rush hour. And this, I believe, is the old airport, which is now only rarely used. Some sources say Ulaanbaatar is the most polluted city in the world. Having stayed there in summer and in winter, I cannot confirm it. However, I don't know the metrics with which the pollution was measured. Is it air pollution? Soil contamination? It surely isn't because of trash laying around. Anyway, bye bye Mongolia. Hopefully see you soon again. Wow, this view. I At my right I find the seat control, which has a preset for the lounge position, which I will use now. Let's continue our seat tour since it got interrupted before by a takeoff. In here we probably have the table. That's a generous surface, put my things on, and here we have a little storage area. I guess this is for the headphones once they are distributed. On my right, this seems to be the IFE control. It is the headphone sockets charging port for USB. Very good. And the seat controls here. And a bit further to the right we have a reading lamp, and that's what I see on my right side. Moving to the left side I have this storage space. And this is the armrest which was lowered during takeoff. I think now I can lift it up. And as you saw earlier, this is the TV screen release, which works a bit hardish, but it works. We will look at the IFE a bit later. I just received the headphones. The headphones come in this MIAT Mongolian Airlines branded hard case, and inside I find a noise cancelling headset and some earpiece covers for additional hygiene. It's funny, I got like 10 or so earpiece protections. By the way, have you subscribed to my channel yet? If not, consider doing so and maybe also leave a thumbs up. That would help my channel grow. Thank you! Lunch is about to be served, so I suggest maybe I do a quick bathroom tour now, before everybody goes there after lunch. I'd rather show you a clean, fresh bathroom, how it looks when you arrive on the aircraft. Let's see what the MIAT Mongolian Airlines Boeing 787-9 business class bathroom has in store for us. So far I can identify the usual suspects, such as the towels, sink and hand soap. As so often, there is an empty flower holder. Below I find an air refreshener and what seems to be additional liquid hand soap. Of course, there's the toilet itself and a large mirror on both sides of the bathroom. Overall, nothing fancy in here at all. I came back from the bathroom and I see that now all the windows are dimmed. Would you know why airlines do that? Please let me know in the comments below, because I really don't know why. It's broad daylight outside, but all windows are dimmed, not making it exactly easier to film in here. For which, by the way, before you ask, I got permission from the crew as I don't bother anyone. I can imagine the darkened windows helped reducing the temperature in the cabin, and the air conditioning pack of the aircraft has less work to do, increasing its longevity. Since lunch is on our way, I can show you how the table works. I won't explain it as I think the pictures speak for themselves. It's a rather small table, however you have this big side table here, so at the end it complements very well. And you can move the table aside a little bit, not too much, however it's not an issue because there's a big gap and I still can lower the armrest if needed and then just slide out. While we wait for lunch to arrive, let's have a look at the amenity kit with the nice MIAT Mongolian Airlines logo. So it's a fairly big pouch. We have some slippers, which I actually will unpack now and use because I'm happy to get rid of my shoes. This must be a dental kit. So, a lot of packages in here. Then this is, I don't know, comb. Then we have lip balm, and this cream is hand butter. Okay. Sleeping mask with the MIAT Mongolian logo and earplugs. And that's it. By the way, can you tell me if you are even interested in these amenity kit reviews, or shall I skip them or maybe keep them shorter or longer? Just let me know maybe in the comments below so I can improve my content for you. I just love this kind of perspective, the engine and wing of an aircraft seen from the front. I'm sure many of you know that the Dreamliner has electric window shades, which is using so-called electrochromic dimming technology for darkening the window, but it doesn't fully block the light, so there's always a bit of glimmer in the cabin. Personally, I prefer the traditional conservative window shades. By the way, if you wonder how much I paid for this flight today, stick around till the end of the video. I'm planning to watch something during the meal service, but first I will need to assemble the headphone covers, which is easier said than done. As with any good business class, I was offered a wet hand towel before the meal service. Next was a pre-meal drink or apero together with pine seeds. I went for a red wine. Cheers to all my subscribers. I have received a little apero. I got some sparkling water and red wine. The red wine I ordered because I'm hoping to get beef today. Because the best ever beef I had on a plane was actually with MIAT Mongolian Airlines about 2 years ago. So I hope today I have it again. We'll see. Because on my last Mongolian flight 2 days ago, they only had fish or pork, so that was a bit less exciting. But maybe on this one. Either way, cheers to a good flight. Lunch is served and I had a choice between fish, chicken and beef. Yes, but they ran out of beef, so I only had a choice between chicken and fish. That's disappointing. I mean, I'm sure the chicken is fine too, but I was so much looking forward for the beef and no, they ran out of it, so nothing I can do. And imagine I'm sitting much further in the front of business class instead of the usual last row, because I wanted to make sure that I'm close enough to the galleys so that they would not run out of the beef until they reach my row. But the cabin attendant recognized my disappointment, and I saw her going back to the galley to discuss the beefgate affair with the maître de cabine, but unfortunately with no avail. She came back to me and confirmed the lack of beefness and offered me plan B. Anyway, here it is, my salad with beetroot and my chicken dish. So I don't have beef with red wine, I have chicken with red wine. How do you like the presentation? I quite like it, even though the salad was served at the same time as the hot dish, which usually isn't according my personal preference. While the salad wasn't quite meeting my taste, the chicken dish was delicious. And I would still dare to say MIAT Mongolian Airlines offers a great in-flight catering, aside from running out of options. I like the branded tablecloth. Would be a nice souvenir, right? It's mid-May and I see frozen landscape down there. I believe we must be pretty far north over Siberian land by now. My main dish has vanished into me and some more is coming. And the dessert. It looks a bit pineapple-ish or mango-ish. I'm sure it's something fruity. Yeah, it's mango. To my surprise, something more is being served to conclude the lunch service. A little fruit bowl. And also a tea of my choice. As usual, I went for my beloved green tea. We encountered an area of turbulence and wow, look at the movement of the wing and the engine. Aviation is such an impressive field of interest and engineering. I'm going to finish watching my lunchtime movie and get some inspiration for my next Bangkok visit. And then let's explore further. Lunch is finished and the cabin has now been turned into complete darkness. So maybe that's a good chance to check out the IFE. I could use this IFE control, but I think I prefer the touchscreen. So we have movies, TV, music, my trip, I guess that's the moving map, games and about the airline. So when you go to the movies, we have, let's see, browse movies. Here we go. New releases, drama, Mongolian movies, all. If I scroll through all the movies, then you get an overview of how many there are. Okay, so it's not too many, maybe 2000 movies. Then we go back to, how do I go back? Maybe menu, yeah, here we go. So then we have TV, browse TV. So touchscreen is so sensitive, I would say. And here, these are the shows we can find here. Okay, also not too much. Then we go back. Music selection. Browse albums. So these are the genres: classic jazz, oldies, modern, local, easy, and audiobooks. My trip. So that should be the moving map. So that's us here. So we're about the third on. And I like the aircraft view, I would say. I think it's quite interactive, yes, so I can move with my finger. I see we are near Surgut, heading towards, let's see if I recognize something. Yeah, it seems we're gonna be north of Moscow, maybe we fly over Moscow. Let's go back quickly again. So how do I go? Exit maps, games, browse games. So we have 2 games. And about us, so I guess that's destination, about MIAT Mongolian Airlines and service. Okay, so I think that's about it. It's not a super extensive IFE, but I'm sure everybody will find something to watch. So I think I'll take the chance and also watch something and relax a bit for the next few hours. The 4 o'clock wake up this morning is taking its toll because I got quite sleepy. Also the dark cabin is not helping, so I would say I'm gonna go for a nap and I will try out the flatbed. The flatbed position of my seat is also one of the presets, so we will see if I and my 1.93 m of body length or 6'4" in imperial units will fit onto this bed. I would say I just fit in, so I mean I'm touching with my feet the wall, but that's alright as long as I can stretch my feet. And the width is also not too bad, so I think a few hours of good sleep should be possible. Well, I will try. Well, that nap lasted about half an hour. The reason is it got quite bright now again in the cabin, and honestly the seat / bed was very hard. I think it could need like a topper or something to make it a bit more comfortable. Yeah, short nap. Okay, the view is certainly worth getting up. Let me show you. It all looks a bit blue because of the partially dimmed window, but I'm still impressed by the landscape down there and that I can see snow and ice on the ground, even though we are almost in the summer months. I see we are being served another meal, so let's move the table into position again. So on this 8-hour flight, we are receiving a second serving, which is now on the way. Another wet hand towel, and then I was asked for my choice of apero drink. And she also started smiling when she told me about the meal choice. Let me explain after the apero drink, which is going to be a Fanta this time, since they are out of Diet Coke. Sorry, but this is so funny. So the second serving, the choice was basically the same. Fish, chicken or beef. Yes, beef. So for the second serving, the beef did not run out. So guess what I got? Here it is, my object of desire, the beef. Maybe if you have seen my other MIAT Mongolian Airlines videos, you see that it looks quite different, so maybe the taste is different too, but I'm gonna find out shortly. As an appetizer, I got this quinoa salad with chicken, it looks like, and some bread and garlic bread. When the cabin attendant came to my seat, she didn't even ask me what I want because she knew I was gonna go for the beef. So while the beef is tasty, it's not the same as last time. The last time it was a proper steak, and now it's more like, how is it called in English? Braised beef? I mean, the taste is good. It's just different than what I expected. The sauce is also good, but if I had a choice, I would rather go for the one that I had last time. So we have just passed Berlin, which means we're gonna start our descent into Frankfurt in a few minutes, I suppose. Overall, I would say I had a pleasant experience on board this MIAT Mongolian Boeing 787-9. The seat is fairly comfortable. I think I have sat on better ones, but it's okay for this 8-hour journey. But overall, the cabin and the aircraft feels fresh, fairly new, modern. The cabin crew is super friendly and also quite attentive, so I quite like them. Food-wise, I think I was probably a little bit biased because of my previous flights with MIAT Mongolian Airlines, so I was expecting a little bit more, but it was still okay. Maybe something they could improve is to have a few snacks or so available, because when I got hungry again after the first surfing, I asked if they have something small like a cookie or something salty, but they did not have anything. Actually, they were giving me the same dessert again that I had after my first surfing because it was a leftover or a reserve, they said. So overall, especially considering the price I paid, I would very much recommend flying Mongolian Airlines if you're happy to travel via Ulaanbaatar, which is quite interesting to visit, by the way. And in case you wonder how much I paid for this flight, so I paid from Seoul to Ulaanbaatar and then from Ulaanbaatar to Frankfurt roughly $900 in business class, which is the reason why I booked it, because I thought it was a great value for money, especially on this 787 with a 1-to-1 seat layout, so I have my own seat, full privacy. I can't complain about this price. The seatbelt sign is on, which means my fun journey aboard MIAT Mongolian Airlines is coming to an end. Having entered more southern fields, the frozen Russian grounds has made way to the green grass and forests of Germany. It's time to get ready for landing in Frankfurt. Welcome to Frankfurt. That was it, my ride aboard MIAT Mongolian Airlines flagship, the Mongolian Dreamliner.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just landed at Frankfurt International Airport.
Seatbelt warning light is switched off.
Bye, thank you. I hope you liked what you saw, and let me know in the comment section below what I should change in the future. In the meanwhile, thanks for watching. Till next time, bye for now.